sub to the channel because we're going to be talking about Project Unicorn. What is it? What is this thing that I've mentioned on several live streams? I've mentioned it on Smash JT's video. I mentioned it on Mad Max's stream last night. Well, when we first started this whole Amico journey, so many people kept saying, you don't know what it takes to make a console. How can you criticize if you don't do it right? Critics like me, we just tear things down. We don't create our own stuff. So I figured, why don't we make something? Why don't we go ahead? We know what all the failings of the Amico was. We know all the things that went wrong, so we could make them right. So here it is. This is the code name, Project Unicorn. Why Unicorn? Because it is the mythical beast of a console that we all want to catch. We all want to find it. So what it is it's going to be a 16-bit successor. It's going to be retro-inspired. We're going to keep it niche focused. We don't care about the family. We don't care about bringing you back to the living room. We don't give a fuck, right? We just want to play some good games. And right now, this is the official formal announcement of the project that will be going forward in 6 months, because this is the focus testing, fact-finding portion of production, right? We're going to go ahead, we're going to go out, we're going to look at how much it costs to make these things, how much chips are. We're going to talk to developers. We're going to do all the things that need to be done. And in 6 months, we're going to let you know if this is a viable project, if this is a viable thing. If it is, we'll be having an Indiegogo or a Kickstarter or something to raise some funds. Maybe we'll talk to a couple of VCs. Who knows? We're all going on this journey together. The idea is we're going to have real physical media. It's going to be CD, DVD type thing, because we want to keep the games under 4 gigabytes. We want to make sure that developers have enough room to make good games. And, put them on cartridges. We might not be able to get cost effective. So CDs, I think, is the best way to go. For exclusives, we are going to have exclusives, and we're going to work it a little different than normal. What we're going to end up doing is we're going to have, if it's an exclusive to Project Unicorn, we're going to take a little higher cut to help us recoup our development cost. And once we recoup the development cost, we'll drop our cut down and let the developers get a little more. We're only going to have a 1-year exclusivity deal with a right of first refusal. So if they plan on making a sequel, we would get the sequel first, or we could refuse and say, hey, your game was shitty. We don't want your sequel. Go ahead, take it somewhere else. We are going to allow ports. It's going to have a different structure as far as what our cut is. We're going to take a little more for a port because it's going to be obviously less work for the developers. But if they add extras, right? So if they're going to make a port and say they add a couple extra levels, extra costumes, whatever, if there's extras to the port, we'll drop our percentage down a little bit and give the developers a little bit more money. It's going to be no online play. Sorry. Can't afford it. Can't do it. We're not going to mail you a certificate to tell you that you're the best whatever player. We are going to look for developers who are making Kickstarter games that don't achieve their goal, but only need a little bit more money to go ahead and finish it. Talk to those type people. Talk to some developers we know, make some games. We're not going after licenses, so unfortunately, if you think that we're going to get another Earthworm Jim or the next Burger Time or something, not going to happen. Not right now, anyway. I'm not going to spend money on a license fee when we don't even have a system and we have sold 0 copies of anything, right? That makes no fucking sense. So we're going to develop some good games, get some ports, get some things happening. Then we'll worry about getting licenses. Then we'll worry about trying to get a broader appeal, if you will. Controller is going to be a standard 4-button controller, so it's going to be real easy. It's not going to be complicated. It's going to have 2 buttons, 2 triggers. So to be real nice. No happy birthday message. Unfortunately, no. There's going to be no DLC, no microtransactions, obviously, because it's not online. It's not digital. And like I said, we're going to go ahead and do a fact-finding mission, 6 months. It's going to have one color, one console color. We haven't decided. I don't like chartreuse or brown, unfortunately, Carl, so no. But I'm thinking of something maybe greenish. I'm a little partial to green. So if there are any questions at this time, let me know. If Gary or Dazed got anything to add to the presentation, let me know. Like I said, this is the 6-month fact-finding focus testing mission right now. In 6 months, we'll give you an update. We'll let you know what's going on, what we've discovered, how much things are going to cost, and all that good stuff.
I think you covered it pretty well.
It's not going to be puke green. It's going to be nice green.
No laser light show.
And no light show. It will not have a Karma engine. We are not going to pigeonhole developers. We're going to allow them to make the games they want to make.
It's going to have a Kermit engine.
Kermit engine. There you go. You know, it's going to.
Will it have 10 commandments?
No commandments. We have 0 commandments.
So we don't have a Gary rating scale 7 on 10 to prove the game.
Actually, what we have.
The Gary Sky Ranger.
We have a Miyamoto scale. So if it gets an 8 out of 10
there you go.
Miyamoto
I like that.
scale, then it fits on the thing.
Arioka wants to know if we will be in direct competition with the Intellivision Zero.
We will not be in competition with the Intellivision Zero. Sorry, no. I'm not sure that the Intellivision Zero is a real thing, to be honest. 2 face buttons, not 4. That's right. It's going to be 2 face buttons, like an NES controller, but then it's going to have 2 triggers in the back, like your old school PlayStation 1 controller. So this will give you a little bit more versatility, but we don't have to worry about shoulder buttons, which are kind of a pain in the ass sometimes. And trying to keep it simple, not overcomplicated. We will not be working on the next big oof sound. Tommy Amico, you can make a rap album about it if you want. The Chinese should build our hardware. Probably that's what's going to happen. We are aiming small. We're not aiming big. We're not looking to sell billions of consoles or millions. Not even 100,000. You know, we're going to try to, you know, be realistic about it. Is this an actual thing or a troll? It's an actual thing. It's an actual thing that we're, like I said, we're going to go on a 6-month fact-finding mission. We're going to focus test. We're going to see what people want. We're going to reach out to developers. We're going to reach out to people that are working in the industry. We're going to reach out to manufacturers, to chip makers, to people who are technical. I have no technical knowledge. I got to find some people to do this. But we're going to try to make it happen. And the goal is to try to make it happen before the Amico comes out. So, Phil, everything you said sounds like you're setting up a scam console. I'm not. It's not a scam. I can just say that right now. It's not a scam. We will, if we get to the stage where, like, I'm not saying we're there yet. We're not on the launch pad. We're nowhere near the launch pad. We haven't even got to the fucking rocket ship launch site yet, okay? We're still driving to the fucking launch pad, okay? But if we ever get there, obviously we will be requiring at least like a $10 deposit on pre-orders, if that's the route you want to go. We will try to have something set up somewhere at some point to try it out once we get it to that stage. We're not there yet. You know, it's not like overnight. I can't just like, hey, I'm making a console, and then 2 minutes later we got everything set up, right? You got to give us a little time. But we've seen the mistakes of the past, and we're going to try to avoid them as best we can. Gary, obviously, we're going to let him play the games, and if he likes them, then they won't get on the system. How much of Smash JT's money are you taking? As much as you want to give us. I mean, we are not declaring war on Nintendo.
Sorry, guys.
we are going to, like I said, we're going to allow ports. We're going to try to get other games on it, and we're going to try to do stuff. We're not exactly competition, but we know that people are going to be looking at us like we are. You know, I don't want to say like, hey, you're going to buy this over a Nintendo or an Xbox, whatever. But we're going to have something unique, and we're going to try to make it cheap enough that you're like, hey, you know what? This is a nice little thing that I want to pick up and play, and I can play some old school games, style games, and you know, some 16-bit style beat 'em ups, shoot 'em ups, shmups, if you will. Are you the CEO? I am not the CEO because we haven't formed a corporation yet. We're just, like I said, in the fact-finding mission. I'm just the lead asshole on the project right now.
Can Ninja Kitty be the janitor?
He's Canadian, so maybe.
No, he's assistant asshole.
Assistant to the regional asshole.
I set up the Canada office.
Gatoroo says, seriously, though, sounds great to me. I'd back it. Yeah, like I said, we got to try to really look into it, look into the prices, see how much things are going to cost. We're going to try to keep it as simple as possible. So we're going to be talking to, people like Kev Triss and stuff, asking, what's the simplest thing we could build? It might look ugly. It might be like the ugliest console ever, but if it's really simple and it makes manufacturing easy, that's what we care about more. Easy manufacturing.
Cost everyday effective. Low price.
Yeah. We're not adding nothing to the controller, no disc, no touchscreens, no microphones, no gyroscopes, no accelerometers, not even rumble or an LED. You're lucky we're putting a start button on it, okay? You're going to have a D-pad. It's going to be not a regular D-pad. It's going to be the one with the the circle with the D-pad inside of it. I don't know what the fuck you call that.
Like on the Sega Genesis controller?
Yeah, almost like on the Sega Genesis, but not as crappy. Please tell me it has excessive nudity and violence. If the developers want excessive nudity and violence in their games, they're allowed to do that. It will, obviously every game's got to be rated by the ESRB. We're not looking to ship worldwide. I'm not worried about PEGI ratings or USK ratings. We're going to be focusing on North America, US primarily first. So apologies. We'll probably do like a Midwest because me, Dazed, Gary are from the Midwest, so that'll probably be like our test market. So right in there. Sort of like when Nintendo went to New York. We're going to kind of do like a Midwest test market thing. We're not going to use slave workers, but we're not going to use not slave workers. Like, it's got to be cheap, is what I'm saying. What framework? That's part of the fact-finding mission. We got to figure out what's going on. I am not a technical guy. I am an idea guy. I know where my skill set lies, and I know what I can do, my limits, and that's why we're going to find some people who can fill in for my weaknesses, cover up my bases, and get them together.
Tony, I know a few people who were recently laid off we can contact.
I do too. So price range, we don't have one yet, Mike. Like I said, I'm not going to give a price range when I don't even know what any of this costs. I got to look into it all. And like I said, in 6 months, when I look into it all and we've done everything and we've negotiated and talked to people, and they say, hey, the thing will cost $500, I'm like, shit, it's no good. Shut it down. It's not going to work. We don't have the fucking money. It's not gonna fucking right. But if I go and say, hey, we can get this thing for like $150, $200, then it'd be like, oh, maybe we'll move forward with it. Again, we'll have to evaluate at that time. Where can you send your? I'll send you my PayPal later on, Dorkside. You can send me that 10,000. We will not be working with Neil Patel or Tiki Tawara to get investments. Don't worry about it. Like I said, no DLC because they're just games, not CDs. So unfortunately, no DLC. Possibly, expansions or spin-offs or sequels within the same universe. We'll see what we can work out, but no DLC. Do I have investors or are you using Kickstarter? Right now, at this point, we are seeking investors, and we will, like I said, in 6 months, evaluate if we should go Kickstarter, Indiegogo, GoFundMe, whatever it is. This thing better have a fucking hydraulics and a mariachi band horn. When you start up the system, it's gonna be like da 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 da. Project Unicorn. Don't forget to start a thread on Atari Age. I'm banned from Atari Age, so I can't start a thread.
I can, so I'll do it.
Not be a bocce ball game unless somebody wants to make one, right? I'm not in charge of making games. I'm not developing games for the system. And we're gonna get developers. We're gonna get people. We're not, it's gonna be like third-party developers. We're gonna try to avoid first party unless we find someone. Unless Gatoroos is like, hey, I want in, be a part of this, and I'll develop games or something like that. Then we'll have first party. But if not, it'll be pretty much third party going forward until we make enough money to buy a developer or something. Can Gatoroos be the CEO? No, unfortunately, cannot. I'm not getting anybody this show, right? I mean, people can talk about it negatively, positively. They got questions. They want to talk about it, whatever. I will not be in touch with fine gentlemen like Phil Adam and Mike Kennedy, unfortunately. I will not be making a collection of Dreamcast games because those would be licensed games. And again, we're going to try to avoid paying any license fees, anything. So basically, like if we wanted an Astro Smash type game, we would just make our own. We'd just asteroids or meteor fall or something and make that instead of paying the additional money just for the name Astro Smash. Because I don't give a fuck about Astro Smash as a name. Can I put in for a review copy? You could. We'll put you on the list, Carl. But it might be a ways away. I will be the CCO. I will be the Chief Creative Officer. No. Like I said, developers are going to, be free to develop games, do what they do, right? That's what they do. I will be the lead on the project. But when we get to the point where we need someone to speak for us, we'll obviously hire a PR firm or get someone in that kind of a position. I am not PR material. You guys watch the show, right? I'm not a PR guy. I'm probably canceled already. Go on Twitter. I probably got canceled twice just during the show. Yeah, I'm not going to put shit out there just to put it out there. Yeah. What's up, Pong? Just in time for to become our number one shill for Project Unicorn. I have not reached out to the Germans yet. I have not reached out to anybody as far as getting grants. I have not considered licensing Dick Smith Wizard as a brand name. Sorry. Again, like I said, developers are free to develop the games as long as they are able to fit on the system, fit on a disk, and fit within our architecture, run on our system, then it's fine. Other than that, those are our only limits. We got no other limits other than it's got to be able to be put on the disk. It's got to run on our system, and it's got to be not shit. I mean, if you could fulfill those 3 requirements, then we're in business. It's not going to have an Intellivision hater collection. Sorry. I will not be hiring any YouTubers like No Swear Gamer and Gen X. They're great guys. I love them. But it's not really. Dorkside says, you guys are welcome to my basement for our first party. Just let me ask my mom. No offices in Dubai and Germany. No offices, period. We're just running this straight out of our houses. We will telecommunicate through the internet. They invented this thing It's called Zoom. You could have Zoom meetings, or we could just be StreamYard meetings, or I could pick up my cell phone and call one of these guys. And so we don't need offices at this point. I don't already have boxing and packing. I don't have a system. I don't have a console design yet. We're not at that stage. I don't have an office in Australia. Sorry. Sounds like 3 commandments. Not really commandments. I mean,
3 guidelines.
It's not even guidelines. It's just it has to. Obviously, it has to run on the system, right? That's just
3 requirements.
Obviously, it has to fit on the physical media, or it's not going to run on the system.
And it
obviously,
can't be shit.
It has to be good. We're not just going to put shovelware. Hey, Sherry got a follow up. Says, how many languages has the information been poorly translated into so far? Just poorly translated English. It has gone from my brain to the packaging, so poor English. If Gary wanted to do pixel art, I could do some basic freebie packing games on the system ROM, like the Sega Master. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Gatoroo, for the offer. We will be in touch, obviously. Dazed is going to grow a fine curly mustache. No, he's got his walrus tusk. We're going to leave him. We might make a Dazed Gaming, Wally the Walrus adventure.
There you go.
Can we get a game where you play as No Swear Gamer and little cuss words pop up? You have to shoot them. There will be a quiet time going into production. No, we'll answer questions honestly and openly. We're going to actually have what's called true transparency. And if we're not there, or the system's not working, or negotiations aren't going well, or we just are not able to get the funds, we're going to let you know straight up. Like, hey, we're having trouble. This is a difficult thing. It's not ready. Says, do you have the exact ideas and full picture document to read? I don't have anything for you guys to read yet. Like I said, it is in the idea phase. We're going to be looking into the different avenues, the different chipsets and all that stuff, and the architecture and manufacturing and the size of the console and getting all those things. And then obviously we'll be letting people know what's going on at that point. Again, we're not on the launch pad. We're driving towards the launch pad. We've stopped off for burgers, and that's where we're at right now. We're eating burgers on the side of the highway on the way to the launch pad. How many deep dives will there be? Can you hire Tellerico for marketing? No. How many deep dives? Obviously, we got to get some stuff going first before we can even talk about deep dives. Will there be any launch delays? We're not going to announce anything until we have something in place. I'm not going to give you a date that we know we're not going to hit, or that we don't even know if we could hit, right? So the only date I'm giving you right now is 6 months from now on 10/9/2022, or the Saturday after. So 6 months and a Saturday after today. Boom. I'll let you know where we're at. My mission statement is to make a console that plays good games that comes out before the Amico. That's my mission statement. I don't know. If you guys want to start Unicorn After Dark and having YouTube meetings about imaginary things that you've come up with in your brain, feel free. I'm not going to use percentages for status updates. I'm going to give you actual detail. I'm going to do that. I'm going to say, hey, this is where we're at. We have this picked out. We have done. We pilot this, blah, 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 whatever. I'll let you know. Now, consider making the shell pyramid shape. Again, we have to actually get the chipset, get the architecture, get everything set up before we get the shell, right? You don't design the outside of the box before the stuff that goes inside the box. So we're going to get the stuff inside the box, and then we're going to get the box as small as we can to house the stuff. And whatever shape that ends up being, whether it's a square or rectangle, a circle or a triangle, that's what it'll be. Where do you find the delusional folks who do the shilling? They find us. So We just put the idea out, and then like people start shilling. That's how it works, right? I won't be doing like 6-hour interviews on YouTube. Dazed and Gary and the rest of the gang are forbidden from doing 6-hour interviews, 3-hour interviews, talking and making stuff up, and none of that shit's gonna happen here. Is it gonna retail at GameStop? Possible. We got to talk to some people. We got to let people know, and we'll see how it goes. We're no misleading lies at all. We're not going to have any, zero. We're not going to stand for that. If I find out anybody is giving misleading lies as an official spokesman, they'll be fired from the project, and it'll be fixed. I'll issue an apology on behalf of the company, and we'll go from there. I will not be targeting anybody to help promote the console. Other than this channel, I won't be really talking about it until we're at a stage where we can talk about it. No idea yet, Joshua. We don't know how many parts it has yet. Says Theranos designed the outside first and it worked for them. No, wait. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, we're going to get everything set. We're going to get our ducks in a row. We're going to do this in the proper order. And if it's not viable in 6 months, I'll come out here and say, hey, guys, it's not viable. It's going to cost way too much to produce. It's going to cost way too much to sell. Couldn't get nobody on board. It's a dead project, and it'll be dead. That'll be the end of it. If not, then we'll say, hey, guys, this is what we're at. This is what we figured out. And this is how much it's going to cost, how much it's going to manufacture. This is what we need to raise. This is what we have raised. This is what we have. Here's the fucking specs. Here's the design. Here's the this, blah, blah, blah. And we'll go from there. Let's do this. Where will we have private meetings? We're not going to have any private meetings. It's going to be no show meetings. I know, like I said, we're learning from the mistakes of other people. So we're going to handle this in a professional manner as best we can, even though we're not professionals. I don't have 600 years of industry experience, but I think I have enough brains to know not to come out here and insult people and call people gaming racist and stuff. Mr. Lee will not be involved. He's the Coleco Chameleon guy, if you don't know. No. Yeah. We're going to meet in Dorkside's basement, pending his mother's approval. Will Tommy Amico make hater songs about it? No, he's going to make good songs. He's going to make a rap album. Dorkside says, do you have an overstock of chips or do you anticipate a shortage? Well, we haven't picked out a chipset yet. Like I said, we got to figure that out first. Then, and again, we're not going to be looking to make 1 million consoles, right? We're going to see what we can get, what is the best order, whether 10,000 or 100,000 or 50,000 or 20,000, whatever it is, most priced effective. And that's what we're going to develop first, put them out there, sell them. And then if we make enough money, we'll go ahead and make a second run or a third run or a fourth run and increase the scope of the project as it is viable to do so. Right? You know, we're not going to just like make 3 million consoles and throw them out there and hope that people buy it. No, we're going to start small and then increase as we go along. No private Facebook group. I don't think we're going to have a Facebook group at all. Like I said, I can't stop other people from doing things, but there will be no official Facebook group or Atari Age forum or anything like that. Will you issue us all contract numbers so we can keep in touch at all times? And no, you're not getting my contact number, and we're not going to be having meetings. I am a super sleeper, but I don't want you guys calling me all night. 20K, no way. I don't know. Like I said, we got to go through the steps, through the motions, see what the interest is, see what people want. Will I be allowed to tell people I'm close personal friends with Tony TGG and I think of you as a brother? I mean, I can't stop you from doing it, Tommy O, but it'd be kind of weird. So don't do that. You can't have a Facebook group when you don't have a face. Yeah. Gary's going to be the face of our company. Have you seen his face? But that's all we got right now at this point. Like I said, we're going to try to get the best things that we can. We're going to talk to developers, indie developers mostly. There's a lot of Kickstarter projects out there that just need a little bit more money to get funded, and they'd end up not getting them, a couple thousand. So we're going to try to contact those type of people like, hey, if the game looks good, say, hey, we'll pay for the development. We'll give you the contract. We'll talk it over. We won't announce anything until it's signed. Till the ink is dry, you won't even know what games are going to be on it, right? It's going to come with 2 controllers out the box. Someone suggested 3 as a joke, but no, only 2. That's really it. That's all I got on this. Smash says, hello. Yes, I would like to inquire where I can invest on the ground floor of this rocket ship. It's not on Launchpad. You might have missed that. Again, I can't stress this enough. We're on the 6-month fact-finding mission. And 6 months from now, we'll let you know what's going on with investment, what we need to succeed in this venture. You got to start super small with produce, but be able to scale it up. Yeah, that's the point. Like I said, I got to see what the costs are of everything along the way and what we can raise. We will not have monthly chanting or virgin sacrifices. Unfortunately, sorry, Carl. I would start with 10 first. 10 might not be viable. We might start with like 3, right? We might make 3, see how it is, get a couple things on there, some basics going, let people play it, see if they're interested in it. But we will, at some point, have to scale up to the thousands. Atari 2600 came with 3 controllers. Oh, okay. There you go. Smash says this sounds far too reasonable for my taste. Thanks, but no thanks. It's all right, Smash. Pong says, I'm not shilling for this project unless you join our chats and bullshit our viewers. Again, I don't want to bullshit anybody. I just think that there is, and I don't want to say that there's a hole in the market, right? I think that as far as indie games go, there are a lot of games that just get overlooked. They get lost in the shuffle. So we're going to try to get the best ones, give them a little spotlight here. There's a lot of games that don't get funded because people don't know about them. There's so many Kickstarter games out there that people just don't know about, right? We highlight some of them every once in a while, and you guys are like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing or that was something coming out. So that's what we're aiming to try to get those games, put them on, give us some exclusives, something that people are like, hey, that's interesting. The console's not too expensive. The games aren't that expensive. And we'll work from there. Hopefully this was just, I wish it was a bad joke, but I spent far too much time on this to make it a joke. So I guess we're going to go ahead and try to go forward with it and see how it works. Because again, we've seen what doesn't work, and I think we can make something work. So why not try, right? I'm not partnering with anybody. We have no partners. I'm not going to bullshit you. I'm not going to say things just to say things. They already actually have a game, marijuana farming simulator game on the phone. Things like Marijuana Farmer or something. So, I mean, it's a good idea, Carl, but it's not a new idea. Can I join the team as retro old boobs? No. No. So like I said, 6 months from now, we will come out again, talk about it. Until then, we're probably going to be pretty hush as we just go ahead and go about our day and try to figure this out. We'll have an update for you. This is a real thing. I know it sounds silly. It sounds like I'm bullshitting. It sounds like I am trolling or being facetious, but I'm not. I'm going to go ahead and try to do this. Because again, we've seen what doesn't work. We've seen what can work. We have ideas ourselves, and why not? Why not try to make something work? But You guys stay smashing.